Always takes a second. Hey there, everybody. I think we are live. Give me 1 second and I'm going to check my tech and make sure that we are actually live in our group. There we are. I see us. Awesome. Wonderful. All right. You guys are in for a treat today, a treat with a capital T. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. We've got Facebook and YouTube right here. We're not going on Instagram today. If you're looking for me on Instagram, you're going to have to come over into Facebook. I'm sorry, or go to my YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, smash the subscribe button so you never miss one of my weekly live trainings. Today, I am so excited. We have an expert with us. Our guest expert is Angela Christian, and she's going to help us master the art of manifestation. And you're going to want to hear from her because I've known her for a while. She is amazing. She is kind, warm-hearted, heart-centered, just like we are. And I know she's going to help us understand this manifestation, law of attraction thing on a better level. But first, if you're new to me and I'm new to you, I'm Tracy Beavers. I am a business and sales coach, and I help entrepreneurs get consistent monthly income and new clients without paid ads. You can gain the income you want and grow your business with ease. Business building does not have to be a struggle. When you coach with me, I give you a clear roadmap of action steps, all laid out, easy to follow, so you know exactly what you need to do every single day, and we get to your goals together. And I am there with you step by step, hand in hand. You can ask my private clients. They will tell you the same. I know how impactful a roadmap can be, because I've seen it work for me and I've seen it work for them. So if a roadmap sounds good to you, if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, unclear, trying to cobble together all the free stuff you've downloaded from the internet, I know because I did it too, reach out and set a free information call. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about if working with me would be the best solution, because I'll be the first one to tell you if it's not. If you're live here, welcome. If you're catching the replay, we love it. And if you've got questions or comments as we go along, toss those into the comment area. And if you're on Facebook, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give StreamYard permission to see your name so that we can see your name. Because sometimes if you don't do that, it'll just say Facebook user, and then Angela and I don't know who you are. But I know that we will answer your questions at the very end. And if you're on YouTube, throw your comments and questions in there, and I will track down Angela and I will get them answered for you when you post them. All right, we are going to dive in. I want to properly introduce her. She is an amazing woman, and I think her story is really going to captivate you, and parts of it are going to resonate with you. Angela Christian is an ex-corporate finance manager who traded in her Silicon Valley spreadsheets to teach motivated women how to heal and manifest their dreams. After a near-death experience, she began training with world-renowned spiritual leaders, which resulted in healing from the inside out. She is now an international in-demand life and business coach who helps women transform their lives through her course and coaching programs. And she also has a book coming out really soon. We were just talking about it in the green room, if you will, before we came on live. It is called Manifestation Mastery. And she's also the host of a popular podcast called Her Circle. I was lucky enough to be a guest on her podcast. I know how impactful her podcast is, so you need to check that out too. Angela, welcome, welcome. Please tell us a little bit more about your story, because it's really, really inspiring. I know your story, so I know for sure everybody's going to want to hear it.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. That was a great introduction. So just quickly, in 2015, we lost our home due to toxic mold. We were very sick. I was near death. My children were very ill. And it was just a very traumatic time. But at that point, I realized, Western medicine was only going so far with us. And that's when I kind of branched out into more alternative forms of healing, spirituality, gained a lot of mentors, learned a lot. And that really was the start of, it felt like a whole new life for me. So along the way, I've learned through trial and error, how to manifest, what works, what doesn't. And it's been a beautiful process.
Awesome. That is very inspiring for sure. Okay. So I know we've all got some questions, and I'm just going to dive right in. What is your definition of manifestation?
Sure. So my definition is aligning your mind, body, and spirit in order to create the life that you want by embodying a desire and transmuting it into a reality. So I know that's really wordy, so I'll break it down a little bit. By mind, that includes your subconscious beliefs, your identity. Your body means your actions and the results that you're getting. And then the spirit is the higher consciousness and vibration within, which all collaborates with the universe. And I came up with this definition after studying the 12 universal laws that govern how we manifest, which includes the law of attraction, but there's just so much more to manifesting than just the law of attraction. So I go into all of these laws in my book because there's just so much information, which will be out later this month. But these laws are really important for the foundation of manifestation.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I think that helps. Yes, and I love that you're breaking these things down into more elementary level, because that's what I need. I know, and I don't know if everyone out there listening needs that as well, but I know I need this broken down into very simple words that I can really understand. And that's interesting. I think I knew that there were 12 laws, but I definitely need to get your book so that I understand that better. So when you're working with your clients, and for you too, when you started on this journey, what stood in your way of you fully manifesting your desires and your dreams? And when you're working with your clients, what do you see that stands in their way also?
Sure. So the biggest thing for me was that I didn't quite grasp this for a long time, that our external world is just a reflection of our internal world.
Mm-hmm.
And this really hung me up because on a conscious level, I was doing all the right things. I was journaling, visualizing, but if you don't understand the universal laws, you're not doing the inner work to upgrade your subconscious blocks, then all of that conscious work doesn't really make a difference.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know that I have a lot of subconscious things. Here's what I wish. I wish I could I had a little hinge right here where I could open up my head and you could go in and scrub out my subconscious and I could start over.
Right.
Because some of that stuff is in there from childhood, stuff I was told, stuff I experienced. It's all just stuck in there rattling around. So
yeah, exactly. And that's what I go into in my book too, is that our subconscious, that rules 95% of our life. And so wherever you're struggling, whether it's business or, any area of life, it just means that you have a program that didn't set you up for success. But the good news is you can upgrade it and change that. So yeah, I go into all of the science in my book.
What are some ways that people can change their subconscious?
So what I have found to be the most helpful is, so after the age of 7, well, back up for a second, sorry. From ages 0 to 7, that's when we were in this theta brainwave. We were watching our caretakers, listening. We were, taking all of this information and coding it as factual, even though it wasn't. And then we were attaching emotion to that. So the subconscious mind is very emotional. It's not logical. So after age 7, we create new subconscious beliefs through habits. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's hard, to create a new habit. But once you do, it takes time to then, for the subconscious mind to accept that. The fastest way that I have found personally and with my clients is through hypnosis and NLP, mm-hmm. Because that takes you back to the theta brainwave. I don't think I shared this with you yet, but I'm actually training to be a hypnotherapist right now because I've seen how much of a change it has had in my life. So those are the biggest ways.
Interesting. What would you suggest for someone who's tried hypnosis? I've tried hypnosis and it just didn't work for me. And I don't know if it's because I'm too controlling and couldn't let go. I don't
yeah. So the kind of hypnosis I'm learning right now, it's called RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. Mm-hmm. It was developed by Marissa Peer. I don't know if you know who she is.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. She's so amazing. So I'm in her program. And some people, it does take a few times, but then what she's also said in typical hypnotherapy, it can take so long to take the person under. Mm-hmm. And then they, if there's someone like me or you who's thinking all the time, and it just doesn't, you need to be in that theta brainwave or, so the rapid transformational therapy, the induction, that's what it's called, doesn't take as long. It's literally like, maybe a minute. So just faster. So, I think finding the right person that you feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've learned, like 1 to 3 sessions is really all you need, especially with RTT.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you're focusing on one thing, what I've seen is it affects positively all areas of my life. So it's like it just starts kind of taking all those barriers away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And is that something you can do virtually for people?
Oh yeah. I'm going to offer like group hypnotherapy virtually and then one-on-one too.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
And is RTT similar to another one I've heard of is EMDR?
Oh, EMDR, that's the eye movement, right? Yeah, you do use your eyes. So you look up. That's how you get into hypnosis quickly. And I do this every morning on myself. You look up like you're looking into your eyebrows. And by sitting there for a little while, it puts you into either alpha or theta. And then you go down into the deeper levels. And then so you keep your eyes up and you close your eyes while your eyes are still up. So that part of it, I think, is EMDR, but I don't know that much about EMDR yet. So
Right. I don't either. I'm learning about it. I know Gabby Bernstein talks about EMDR, and I actually have one of my clients who's going through it's EMDR or somatic something. I can't remember. Anyway. Okay, so let me ask you another question. When it comes to manifestation, because a lot of people want to have success in business and they think, okay, I want to use manifestation to increase my income or to increase my visibility or increase my clients. How can we use it for something like our business?
Yeah. So manifestation is, and this is where, there's been so many spiritual leaders who teach manifestation that leave out a lot. So manifestation is really all about energy. So whatever area you're focusing on life, the theory is the same. So to change your energy, you need to start upgrading your energy and then reprogramming these old beliefs. And when it comes to success of your business, you would want to get really clear first on like taking some time and thinking, what does that look like? And what does that feel like? And whatever it feels like, you want to start embodying that feeling now, because the subconscious mind is emotional and the universe's language is in the present moment. It's not in the future. So by telling your subconscious mind what you want in the present tense, it's like, I like to think of it like placing an order. And so if it feels weird to you, because some people feel weird saying like, I'm rich, I'm successful, when they have like $6 in their bank account, like there's a disconnect there. And you can't have those conflicting beliefs in your subconscious and conscious mind, or it'll cancel each other out. So what I tell people is if you feel uncomfortable just saying like, I am rich, I am successful, say, I intend to be successful, I intend to be rich, and then really get behind that emotion that you're feeling when you visualize yourself at that place of success. Because once you do that, it takes a while for the subconscious to accept it. And then once it accepts it, it's going to help you get there. Like that's what it's made to do. The other thing is, I would say one of the universal laws is the law of rhythm, which just basically says everything is cyclical. And it's the same for our business. Like we can't have summer weather all year long, unless you live in San Diego, I guess. But you can't have, your business isn't going to be perfect all year long. So just knowing like, okay, I'm in this season of my business, like it's spring in my business, I'm planting the seeds for what I want to harvest in the fall, or maybe you're in winter and you kind of need to reset and reevaluate things. Like just getting comfortable with that and knowing that that it's going to ebb and flow. And that way you won't be so emotionally drained when you're in those quieter times.
Yeah. So then, okay. So if you're saying, I intend to be successful, I intend to be wealthy, I intend to sell out my next program, I intend to make $100,000 a year, whatever it is, I intend to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So you say it, and then you do the feeling of it, and you get
Mhm.
into that emotion and the visualization of it.
Yeah.
But then you don't have to do that all day long, right? Do you just do it like once a day, and then the other thing is you want to stay high vibe, and you want to have high energy and not and be very guarded with your energy and what you allow into your life. But shit's gonna happen. I mean, excuse my language.
Yeah.
I don't normally cuss during live trainings. I can't believe I just said that, but it stuff happens, and like the dog throws up, or the car breaks down, or the kids are fighting, or whatever, and you're like, y'all are ruining my vibe. What do you do with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I still deal with this, as you know, I've been going through a divorce, and that can easily pull my energy down. But what I do is I give myself a time. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm really angry right now. So I'm going to take 5 minutes or whatever, and just be angry. And then I'm going to release it. And so just like having more control over your emotions, not getting lost in that, because nobody can stay high vibe all the time. Like, that's
Right.
impossible for humans, and that's not even like a reasonable thing to think. But it's just having control over your emotions and thoughts, because your thoughts affect your emotions, affects your words, affects ultimately your life and your reality. So
Mhm.
being able to just give yourself that grace and the space to feel the emotions and then let them go. And I always have to remind myself, like, the only thing I can control in this world are my thoughts. And that's going to have
Yeah.
the biggest ripple effect in your business too.
Got it. Okay. So what would be some things, I know you recommend there's 3 daily practices you wanted to share with us that we could do, 3 things we could do every day. And I
Yeah.
love this because I know my audience wants actionable things they could actually do. So tell us some things we could do every day.
Sure. So, number one, this is really important. And this is something you would kind of want to do regularly until it becomes habit. So, auditing your thoughts, emotions, and words. I even recommend getting a journal and writing down any of the negative thoughts that are popping into your mind, because this will tell you where your faulty programming is, and where the subconscious beliefs that need to be upgraded,
Yeah.
because these thoughts create, the emotions and all of the ripple effect. So that's my first tip, especially if you're new to all of this. Number two would be daily affirmations in the mirror. And it sounds a little funny at first, but I'll explain. What I found, and this was true about myself as well, is that a lot of people are struggling with low self-worth and don't even know it. And so self-worth, for those who don't know, is a lot different than self-esteem. Self-esteem is based on external factors, and it can kind of like change, but self-worth is internal.
Mhm.
And if you had asked me a while back, like, do you have low self-worth? I would have said, no, no way. I have, I love myself, whatever. But then once I started becoming really honest and assessing, I realized it was actually an issue. And so that brings me to, I have a free handout for you guys today to kind of look at and assess your own self-worth, where you're at. And then if you're struggling with it, I give some tips on improving that. So the daily affirmations in the mirror, it's really important to do mirror work, because it actually expedites healing. Because as a child, we receive so much criticism by people looking in our eyes. They would look in our eyes and criticize us. So when you're looking at yourself in the mirror in your eyes, which feels a little weird at first, what I recommend doing is saying, I love you 10 times, 3 times a day, putting a sticky note on your mirror if you have to, just to remind yourself to do this. And you'll start to see a shift like after 30 days of this. It's really helpful.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
then the third one is finding some kind of daily practice, whatever fits into your life and your beliefs, that is going to help raise your vibration. Because I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the law of attraction, this is where people get kind of hung up too. The law of attraction is always working. It's either bringing what you want into your life or bringing what you don't want.
Right.
And it'll bring something, but the law of resonance, or it's also called the law of vibration, that determines the who or the what based on your energy. So
Okay.
we're all energy, the whole universe is. So, so what I do specifically is I have like a 15-minute meditation I do,
Mhm.
and I do like a quick gratitude, either just thinking gratitude, thoughts or writing them down. Um, and then I take about 5 minutes to write out I am statements.
Mhm.
I am statements are really powerful because anything you say after I am um, basically becomes your destiny, because you are aligning yourself with that's becoming your identity when you say I am.
Mhm.
So this is also where you have to just be careful with the things you say about yourself, like, oh, I'm clumsy or I'm overweight or whatever. Like, if you catch yourself, just try to stop and like rephrase it.
Mhm.
Um, and so those are the things that I would recommend at first. Like, they're just, things that you can do daily. They don't take a ton of time until you're ready to like, try self-hypnosis or go to a hypnotherapist or something. Those would be the things that would start making a shift.
Got it. Okay. What do you say to people who don't feel like they can meditate because the whole time they're thinking about the grocery list and the laundry and the kids and the
Yep. No, I sometimes struggle with that too. So I just say, even just try it for like a minute. Like, just try to sit for a minute and just don't judge yourself. If you do have thoughts, I imagine them just coming like clouds, like coming in, going
Mhm.
out. I try not to focus on them. And try it for a minute, and then just go up to 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be super long.
Mhm.
I used to meditate every day for 45 minutes. That was
Wow.
before I had toddler. I can't do that anymore.
Holy
Um,
cow.
but then I realized it started feeling like a chore, and I
Yeah.
didn't want that. So I do it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I even catch myself sometimes, but I'll just kind of, in my mind, I'll envision that I'm sitting on the beach looking at a sunset. So I'll just like try to stay focused on that. That's like
Mhm.
what helps me.
Okay, cool. I love that. And
Yeah.
everybody loves, well, most everybody, all the normal people love a beach, sunset
Yeah.
beach. So,
Yeah.
okay, let me ask you this, because this is something that I've heard from people before when I've been in masterminds and groups and we're talking about manifestation. What if you're doing all the things, right? You're doing the I am statements, you're doing the affirmations, you're doing the mirror work, you're trying to doing the meditation and all this, and you feel like you're doing it right, and you're getting all the signs from the universe that you're on the right track, but still you don't meet your goal. I have clients that feel this way, and it's really tough and it hurts. And I want a way to encourage them. They get so excited about a course they're opening up, and they, you know, everything's gelling and they're feeling really good about it. And they're thinking, gosh, it'd be great if I had 20 people join with a stretch goal of 40 people. And then they get like 5 people. And they're
Mhm.
like, did I do this wrong? And they feel that they're deflated. They're,
Mhm.
they they feel really deflated. So, what do you do in that? What do you do when that happens? When you feel like you're doing all the right things and the manifestation doesn't happen?
Yes. So there are a few different things. So one, it could be that there's some kind of conflicting conscious belief and subconscious belief. Like,
Mhm.
for example, if I ask someone, "Hey, do you want $1 million?" Consciously, they would probably say yes. But then, if they have a bunch of money blocks from childhood where their parents always said things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or you have to work really hard to make money, where
Mhm.
they have all these, limiting beliefs, then that can cancel each other out. So
Okay.
it could be a subconscious belief issue. It could be like shadow work. That's a whole nother topic, but it's like a lot of us want to hide like our shadow basically. And when you do that, it actually gets bigger. And then that's the energy that you're putting out without even knowing it. So that's
Oh,
another thing.
yeah.
But what I realized when I launched is when I actually had a successful launch. What I did was I linked launching with pleasure versus pain. So I scheduled in self-care. I went to the spa, and I set a goal. I did
Mhm.
all the visualizations. Um, but then once I set the goal, and these are all part of the universal laws too, um, I set a goal and then I detached from it. So I got into the energy of, you know what, the right people are going to buy my course at the right time. So I imagined what a successful launch would feel like. I really got into that feeling. I sent gratitude to all the people buying my course, but then I detached myself and just had to trust in divine timing, which is a lot easier said than
Yeah,
done.
it is.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
But the subconscious mind is the feeling mind. So if you hold an image in your mind with excitement and gratitude and you keep holding it there, once it's accepted, then it will start to shift, but it, might not be this launch. It might be the next launch, because it takes time for that to kind of the conscious to catch up with your subconscious. And what I realized when I failed with launching before I was successful with launching is I looked back and I said, what did I do? And so I was in this energy of like, I need people to buy my course. Like, what if no one buys it? And I got really into that fear and lack and scarcity.
Right.
And some people might not even think that they might consciously not be having those thoughts, but they might be in the background. And so what I like to also remind people is when you're doing really good things for the world, like, bringing courses to teach people all of these things, the law of divine compensation states that you will be rewarded. Just keep doing it. Just keep moving forward. So I always recommend, if you can, like, go stay in a hotel or go to the spa during launch time. So that way you're going to attract more people to you when you're in that energy of like, feeling good, feeling positive versus like just sitting in your house, like, oh, are people going to buy? Like, so that's what I would say.
So we should just all go to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that idea. Okay, next launch, I'm going to the beach. I'll take everybody with me. Okay, so tell everybody how they can find you, connect with you, learn more about you, because I do feel like this is something that people ignore. It's kind of like they ignore their mindset. They think, no, I need help with time management. Well, you also need, to work on your mental game.
Yeah.
So this entrepreneurship thing, it's a roller coaster. And what you teach is going to be foundational for their success. So how do they find you and connect with you?
Sure. So I'm on Instagram at Angela Marie Christian, and then Facebook, Angela Marie Christian. My podcast is Her Circle, and then my website is angelamariechristian.com.
Love it. And the free gift that you have for us talks about if it will help them identify if Jill just put something in the comments. I'm sorry, it distracted me. It'll help people identify if their low self-esteem is getting in the way of their manifestation.
If they're low self-worth, yeah. So that's like based in their identity. So it'll help them determine if they have low self-worth. And then I give 5 tips on how to start boosting it.
Got it. Okay, cool. And I know Jill has the link to that, so she's going to pop that into the comments for everybody. So I just want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Guys, let's make business building easy. Let's make it easy for everybody to see who we are, what we do, how they can buy from us or hire us. And you've heard me say this all the time. In order to let it be easy and get that visibility that you want and the new clients you want, you have to be visible. And that's what I teach. And you can gain that in our Facebook group. So I want you to join us. If you're on YouTube or you're over on my Facebook business page, hop into our Facebook group. You can promote yourself, your offers. You can showcase your expertise. I want you to do that because you are experts. You can support other members. We have members just like Angela in this group that if you were to post a question about manifestation, she would reach out and she would be able to comment and help you. If you had a question about how to maximize LinkedIn, that's not my jam. You could post in the group. A LinkedIn expert is in that group. And it's all about that community of support, cheering each other on and helping each other build these businesses. They want to connect with you. So using Facebook groups is an excellent strategy for visibility. So I want you to hop into ours. It is called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible and Grow Your Income. And as always, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you'd like to learn more about, hear more about. It is always my goal to bring you value and be of service. And if you're loving this content, I want you to save it into your favorites and create your own library of awesome videos. And remember, I say this every single week. You know what I'm going to say? Don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody wants to know your name. Just like Angela was saying, there is a cycle to life, there is a cycle to business, and we have to get used to the way it's going to be. Some days it's going to feel great, some days it's going to feel like crap. And if you think you're alone, you're absolutely not. And our Facebook community is a community that can help shore you up, cheer for you when you've got a big win, pick you back up when things feel like they're falling apart at the seams. And if you're ready for strategies that will get you visible and help you break through this loud, noisy online space so you can grow your audience, grow your email list, get that consistent monthly income that you want, reach out to me and set a free information call. Let's talk about coaching. Let's talk about what's going on in your business and find you some solutions. I want everybody to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And remember, when one of us rises, we all rise. So we've got to keep cheering each other on. Now, I'm going to just check the chat really fast. I know, okay, I see Jill tossed in Angela's link. Craig is here. Hey, Craig. Craig Stamper's good friend of mine. He's an amazing person. Thanks for showing up, Craig. Awesome. Jill says, Tracy, you're saying next launch you and I are going to the beach. She said, y'all heard her, smiley face. So now I've got to take her to the beach. Okay, no worries. All right. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you again.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.